Hi, everyone, and welcome to our very first PR podcast. Today, we want to take a deep dive into Seth Godin's marketing classic, The Purple Cow. We want to look at the benefits of being remarkable, and in today's episode, we want to talk about standing out in a crowded room and why safe is the new risky. Joining me today would be Aaron, and we're gonna dissect this whole thing. Let's go. Right, so Aaron, hi, how are you?
Was this scene? I good? I good.
So, talk to me. What you know about marketing?
Honestly, I believe marketing in general would be basically just trying to get people who do know about your product, just to get them to know about it. Because if you open a store, bro, and you have a product, people are not just gonna magically know. So I think it's just spreading the word.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, like in Gooden's book, right, or in general marketing itself, there's this concept that when your product is regular and everybody has the same product as you,
Yeah.
you're not going to be visible. Nobody going to see it. There are lots of different marketing strategies, but there is this idea from Seth Godin that says like marketing through word of mouth is like the best marketing strategy. And when I saw that, I thought about how we trainees operate
Yeah.
in terms of like, don't we like to old talk and thing, yeah?
We do.
And I hope we just find out about everything, information, products. And there's also the term like sneezers. And I think we are sneezers, most of us,
Yeah.
whether it happens by accident.
So what I think about that is that even though we have sneezers and trainees, like they would want to talk about things and we would want to gossip, I feel like that particular product or service or whatever it is would need to stand out and need to be remarkable in the sense that, for example, as Seth Godin put it in his examples, like nobody gonna talk about the next best advert again unless a product really has to do something significant for me to see it as a purple cow and for me to want to go and talk about it to other people. That has to be doing something, and that's where I believe the opinion leaders would come in and separate someone from actually being a sneezer to someone who would just look at like this particular product and not want to talk about it.
Well, besides like the regular person being a sneezer, there's this like let's call it a whole other genre of sneezers, and those would be our influencers.
Yeah. So with that, I think like one of the things for me is there's the rhetorical tradition in terms of the pathos and the ethos and whatnot. Because if I trust this person, if I think they are credible, if there's some kind of emotion they like invoke with me, if they say something, I might be quicker to trust them. And that's where so they who are the Caesars, they could really have a lot of influence on the public. So they would be like those opinion leaders for sure.
So I'm backtracking a little bit, right?
Okay.
Sneezers belong to this whole hierarchy of people, and there is this thing called the idea diffusion curve. And sneezers are like people who pick up the product at the beginning when it's something more on the newer side.
Yeah. So, from my opinion of understanding that curve, these would be the small early adopters and the opinion leaders we talked about previously. And then they would want to influence the early majority and then the late majority who would jump in afterwards. So, after the initial hype about it, then they would be influenced because these individuals, they won't actively want to go and pick it up just so. Like, they would need someone to really convince them and let them know about these features. And sometimes people who they trust as well. And thereafter, so that'll be the top of the curve. Thereafter, then you have the laggards, like the people who long after, then they would want to take it up. Like they would kind of be stubborn in terms of not wanting to adapt our product. And then like last resort, then they would adapt. And I'm sure you would probably know like if there are any laggards.
Funny enough, that actually sounds like me. Because here it is.
Okay.
I still don't own an iPhone. And
Okay,
I
answer it
don't
this one.
see the point
Yeah.
of wanting to buy one.
You could I just say just try it, bro. Just try it. That's what I did. I tried it and I never went back. Because nobody like Android. Come on, like iPhone camera quality, like it's just so smooth the software. And then again, it's like the title too now. Like I don't know what to tell you. But like okay, I think I would be a laggard in terms of only 2 years after TikTok came out, then I decided to last minute go and pick it up because I was like, I don't want to be like everybody else. And I was so stubborn about it. And now I am a TikToker, unfortunately.
Can't relate. It's really interesting
Mm.
that we would have heard somewhere along the line that you don't need to reinvent the wheel
Okay.
in order to be successful.
Okay.
But Gooden is actually saying the complete opposite. He's saying that you need to be different in order to stand out, or else people are not going to notice you. And
Right.
you're going to just end up blending in, and your product's just going to be, in a sense, unremarkable because it already exists.
Yeah.
So playing it safe in the marketing industry is a no-no. It's very risky. But then with all of that, I actually think about the fact that being different is pushing beyond the already established status quo. And that can and push some people con, mash some people too, get some people mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, so I feel like with that, like if you are different, you're gonna have people who are not gonna like you. You understand? And I think that's understood because how else you gonna stand out? But I feel like with that particular aspect, if you go to the majority, right, you're not necessarily gonna reach them because marketing at this point is noise to them. So that's where the early adopters that they would see, like they would like that particular thing which is different, and then spread it on. An example I'm gonna use, he talked about this guy, I think remember Andrew Weil, who went to Harvard University and for well he was a med student, right? Now other med students and doctors, they would just go along with some of the teachings and they wouldn't challenge anything established. Andrew Weil did the opposite, and his books sold millions of copies at this point, you know, and he was able to help so much people. A lot of people would go to his clinics and whatnot, and basically by choosing to challenge what was safe, right? Because I feel like with that safe is in risky. By challenging that now he is well, thin and simple, rich fit. And compared to other doctors now who are overworked and tired, like Andrew Weil is having a ball, bro. You know, by simply choosing to be risky.
there are so many products like BMW, Crocs, Jaguar. Crocs is a shoe. There are lots of different brands of shoes, some that are so much cheaper, even cars, right? So it makes me wonder, like, what makes these brands specifically something remarkable, something different, something that people would want to purchase even though they're broke and don't have the money to buy it over the more affordable one.
So I think what Seth Godin touched on very briefly in terms that would fall on that pricing as well. For example, I feel like some of these products they would be so similar to others in terms of like Birkin with leather or Rolex. And I mean no, even though they have a higher price point, I don't think it's so much the remarkableness and innovation of the product itself. I think it's just because it gives off that self image of being unique, of you can't own this. You understand? And some products just being so I guess, going against safety to the mere fact that you are hiking up your price where the majority will not be able to afford it. You understand? Like, you're going to appeal to high-end individuals, and they would want that because I see it happening all the time where you go and purchase this product for a ridiculous high price. You understand? And I wouldn't see a big difference. For example, okay, Crocs is, I believe it's like $500. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? No, I would understand that I wouldn't go out there and pay $500 for what I would say as a slippers. You understand? But everybody would be like, oh yeah, that Crocs, you're cool. Da 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 da. Da. I really see a big difference. Or like a normal supercar that you could get for like, let me say 200,000, right? And I talking about like US. But like individuals spending like 1.5 million to get a supercar just because of the name like Lambo or Ferrari, you know? So I think is really just a status thing. Exclusivity, obviously.
Exclusivity.
And it's that.
All right, guys. So we are approaching the end of our podcast, and we want to go through a couple of things to review what we've learned so far. So, number one, when it comes to getting your product out there, you need to be different. You need to be remarkable. You need to be the purple cow.
The purple cow.
Number two,
Number two.
let people talk.
Let them talk.
Let them gossip.
Let them gossip.
That in itself is free marketing, and free marketing is good. First of all, it's free, one, and two, it's just one of the best marketing strategies out there.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, your product needs to be so out of the box that people just want it just because it makes them special.
Yeah.
Nobody else have it.
Exclusive.
Exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
We love that.
And it's that.
Yes.
And with that, not being safe. Safe is in risky. You don't want to be safe. You really want to stand out. You want to be different. I mean, I feel like that's the only way to guarantee that from all this noise, people are going to decipher things and be like, okay, you know what? You are a purple cow. Overall, I think Seth Godin, he really did a good job in terms of highlighting why it is you need to be different because that's something I personally was not aware of before. I was just doing marketing just like everybody else, and that's the problem. I was being more of a follower in terms of like how everybody else was doing their things. But you really need to be disruptive, you know?
Yeah, swim the opposite way.
Yeah. So I think with that, this book really tied that in for me personally. And I was like with myself because I do content like with that. Now I would try to be a little different, you know, really try to go out there and just be that one lone wolf that people go watch me and be like, yeah, use our purple cow. Yeah,
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
but be outside.
Bye. Standing out in a crowd. We were.
Today
He's squealing.
the topic is yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Shut up.
Say
Okay.
that at the end, like
This is the end.
this is the end.